Need computer training for a group or office? Contact us today to get a free demo of our training at www.teachucomp.com/enterprise-licensing.
In this lesson, we'll talk about how practicing your answers to likely questions in advance can improve your performance once you're at the real job interview. This course includes many of the most common questions that are asked during a job interview. In Chapter 5, we'll go over these questions, as well as giving some examples of what good answers sound like. Before you have a job interview, you can practice general answers to these questions, which is a great way to prepare some success stories from your past, as well as developing some questions to ask the interviewer. Once a job interview is scheduled, you should practice answering all of the questions again, but this time you'll want to tailor your answers so they reflect upon the needs of the specific company as well as the position being filled. This is one reason that your preparation for the interview began with researching the company. Now, as you practice answering common interview questions, you can add in those specific details about the company in order to give your responses more impact. For example, let's look at a basic question like, what's your greatest strength? When you practice answering that question before you have an interview scheduled, you might want to answer with specific traits that will make you sound like a good employee. So you might say, I'm highly organized. I keep track of my appointments, and I pride myself on finishing projects ahead of schedule. Once you have an interview scheduled with, say, a local accounting firm, you might tailor your answer to, I'm highly organized, which I know is essential during tax time. I also keep careful track of my appointments, which I imagine will be necessary for this position since your firm handles more tax clients than any other firm in town. And I pride myself on finishing projects ahead of time, which I know is important around here since there are so many different tax deadlines to keep track of. You cannot practice answering questions too much. Practice answering questions in different ways to see what sounds best. If you have a friend or a family member who's willing to role play the interview with you, give that person a list of questions and have him or her ask you the questions in random order, or by putting the questions into his or her own words. If you're preparing for a video interview, practice answering questions in front of a camera. The more you practice answering questions before the interview, the more relaxed and prepared you will feel once you're there.
Like what you see? Get a free demo of our training for groups of 5 or more at www.teachucomp.com/enterprise-licensing.